Hi and welcome to Let's Talk Africa, news that you may not know. I'm giving you the headlines about news stories that don't always become mainstream stories around the world, and those of us who are in the continent of Africa are the ones who are usually aware of this news. I thought it was important to know because after spending these years living in Ghana, I have noticed how there is news that is in the continent of Africa that doesn't get out to the diaspora community. I often get people saying things to me that they hear from mainstream media, from places like CNN, NBC, CBS, whatever it may be around the world that you're watching, and they don't always have full information, or they don't cover the stories at all. So I'm here to give you some of the news stories happening from the continent that may not be mainstream news. The man known as the founder of Zambia died at the age of 97 recently. He ruled the country for 27 years after it gained independence from British rule. This is big news in that country, and I'm sure it's not something that you may necessarily have known, and I thought I would let you all know. The next story is Benin. Did you know that the country of Benin in West Africa, which is just 2 countries away from Ghana, has the longest graffiti wall in West Africa?
Welcome to Cotonou, the capital city of Benin. Here is home to the visual spectacle that is Africa's longest graffiti wall, an outdoor museum more than 940 meters in length, garnering a world record title for the West African country.
The next story, Ghana and Rwanda plan to collaborate with each other to establish a cocoa plant. Togo in West Africa has inaugurated the largest solar plant in West Africa. The plant is located about 250 kilometers north of the country's capital of Lomé. And it is a 50 megawatt facility, and it's going to be able to power over 158,000 households in Togo. This is great news, especially because it's going to help to save over 100 million tons of emissions when it comes to generating power in the country. The other thing to know is that Togo actually imports 50% of its electricity from Ghana and Nigeria. So this will be a great relief to both countries, who may be able to start reducing how much electricity they supply to Togo now that Togo will have its own solar energy that they can access for their citizens. And in the news this past week, Ghana was listed as the 2nd most peaceful nation in Africa, according to the Global Peace Index. And it ranks 38th overall. From what I read, the United States is over 100 on that list, and people often are asking me how safe Ghana is, and Ghana is actually now listed as being far safer than the United States on the Global Peace Index report for 2021. So Ghana is the number 2 most peaceful nation in Africa, and Mauritius is the number 1 most peaceful. Botswana came in number 3 on the list. So this is really great news, especially because one of the questions I'm often asked by people is, how safe is it to travel to Ghana? And just knowing this, that it's listed now as the 2nd most peaceful nation in the continent, is great news. And it's a sigh of relief for a lot of people who feel like they don't really know what it's like, especially because mainstream media often paints Africa as being completely unsafe, as being war-torn across the entire continent. There's 54 countries, but yet something that may be happening in 1, 2, or 3 countries is blanketed across the whole country in media as if that's what's happening across the continent. So if you are deciding to make a trip to Ghana, you can trust that it is a safe country and it is quite peaceful. Other things I wanted to mention, a lot of people ask me about what they need when they're traveling to Ghana. One of the things that's very important to know is you need to check to see if your country requires you to have a visa when you travel to Ghana. Most countries do require a visa, but there's a lot of countries that do not need a visa to enter Ghana. Most notably, there's a video that went viral. A friend of mine posted of a woman who has a Jamaican passport, and when she got to Ghana, she used her Jamaican passport and had no problems entering the country at the airport. So this is something that had been in talks since 2019, that Ghana was saying that people from Jamaica would be visa-free coming to Ghana. Right now, Jamaica already offers visa-free to Ghanaians who go to Jamaica. That's been for a long time. It's just been a lot of Ghanaians haven't either known or haven't been able to take advantage of the opportunity. So the other thing is, if you're coming to Ghana, you do need to know that the vaccination that is required is yellow fever, and that's been for a long time. Unless you have a special certificate that states for health reasons why you are not able to get a yellow fever shot, it is a requirement when coming into the country. The other thing is, it's important for you to know that there is a long haul on that flight. So prepare yourself to be comfortable when you're flying in. From the US, there is the direct flight that you can take from, I believe, from New York or from Washington directly to Accra. However, most countries, there's not a direct flight. The UK does have a direct flight. And in news when it comes to COVID-19 and vaccinations on the continent of Africa. Now, COVAX was the donations that was made to African countries, developing countries from European nations, more developed nations. There's a fly around here, sorry. So COVAX is the vaccine, which was AstraZeneca, that was being donated to a lot of African countries and other developing nations. Now, I would like to say that it is unfortunate what's happened, because the same people who donated these vaccines to African countries are now denying them travel into these EU nations, saying that the vaccine that they received is not valid, it is not being recognized. I first saw the report in a Kenyan newspaper that had stated that Kenyans were being denied entry into European Union countries because they had the AstraZeneca vaccine, which was not being recognized because of the issues that they were having in Europe, where they were saying that the blood clots, reports were that people were getting blood clots as a result of the vaccine. So now the very vaccine that they donated to people is now being denied. I'm at Honeysuckle Restaurant while I'm delivering you the news. So the very vaccines that were donated are now not being accepted. And it is an unfortunate situation, because it almost comes across like, okay, you the same people who donated, now you're turning around and saying, sorry, you can't come into our countries because you are not fully vaccinated with the right vaccine. I think that this is a sign of why a lot of African nations need to stop accepting so many donations and need to start learning to come together and produce together, manufacture together, because reliance on support and donations from outside nations isn't always the best thing. Yeah, it's great to get help, it's great to help people out, but I think there's a time that being self-sufficient is very, very important. And I think now with the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, I think it's very important more than ever that we use the next 10, 20, 30 years as an opportunity to work together, build together, so that in the next generation and the generation to come, African countries are not so dependent on people from outside of the continent. Also in the news this past week, in Ghana, there was the Ghana Diaspora Investment Summit that had so many people come from the diaspora community coming to share and exchange ideas and discussions about being in the business space in Ghana. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center organized the event in collaboration with Ghana Tourism Authority, the Diaspora Affairs Office, and the Beyond the Return Office. Also the Ministry of Finance, as well as the Ministry of Information, all collaborated together for this event. I'm just shooing flies away from my food.
I'm bringing something to
Okay, thank you. Also in the news this week, Nigeria, there was on Twitter, it was saying that Nigeria might try to ban other social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. After they banned Twitter, this would be the next phase, and that is not a good thing. If that actually does happen, it will be a great, great impact on a lot of people who use these social media tools to do business. I think it's unfortunate that the Nigerian government sees this as a way to move forward, because it's definitely not a way to move forward in this day and age, when the internet and using social media tools to do business is such an integral part of connecting on a global network, on a global scale. I think it's very sad if they decide to go ahead and ban all social media platforms within that country. And it will be very disappointing for a lot of people who are earning their income using these social media platforms. I've even heard about some content creators even suggesting leaving Nigeria and coming to Ghana as a safe space for them to be able to continue to produce their content and continue to earn an income, make a living doing what they do using social media. And so that's it for my brief news report for this Let's Talk Africa, bringing you the news that you may not know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.